Hello everyone, it's me, Thomas Fixter, coming to you with a video. The 3 key ingredients of leadership you need. In time of accelerated disruption, the art and science of naval change is more important than ever. 3 sets of tools are available to those aspiring to induce change. Inspiration, information and power. As shown in figure 1, leaders need to master all 3 if they are to be effective. The growing role of leadership in management. Once we get beyond obstacle notions of leadership, such as leadership as a set of attributes or organizational or as a kind of social status or autocratic communication, we can see that the capability to enable change is ever more central. In the 21st century management, the number of people who need to be enabled change is greatly expanded, as shown in figure 2. The transition to 21st century management involves many people on an organization wide journey for perhaps a decade. Oh, the organizations as a whole functions as a network where ideas can come from anywhere. The sponsors of new ideas must be able to make their voice heard. Innovation plays a much larger role, and many new ideas need champions to sponsor them. When self-organized teams are at work, central element and structure of work, leadership within every team also becomes critical. In fact, the very reason the 21st century management has emerged is that traditionally management firms were unable to adjust fast enough to deal with change. The shifting nature of leadership. In the 20th century management, leadership was typically transactional. Leaders worked within the existing culture, often relying on carrots and sticks, i.e. power tools. Leaders appeal to self-interest of employees, just as the organisation itself pursued the self-interest of the firm. Maximising the shareholder value, leaders and managers were seen as different kinds of different people with different functions. Leaders set direction, while managers were charged with getting there. In 2019, Professor Barbara Kellerman proposed that leadership should be seen as having a service dimension, while management does not. If such a bifurcated view of leadership management were adopted, it would set organisations on a path to consumer performance conflict. In the 20th century management and leadership are fully integrated. Both management and leadership have a service function that can create value for customers and users. In fact, leadership is an aspect of management as shown in figure 3 rather than something above management. The limited contribution of limited schools. In the ongoing transformation of management and leadership, the contribution of leaders of business schools has been limited. One reason is that business schools spent a vast amount of time and effort on academic research and has no accountable findings has been covered. In the following article, former business school Dean Roger Magan has estimated that the cost to produce some such articles with no accountable findings around 600 million per year. The price of accountability is conclusion that such research may be provoke conversations amongst academics, but is not very useful for organizations or society. 3 sets of tools for effective leadership. Leadership occurs throughout society. In education, it is called teaching. In a family, it is called parenting. In politics, it's called campaigning. In organization, it's called innovation. In the 21st century management, leadership is about creating new ways for the organization to create value for customers and users and to do so with truth and integrity. Figure 1 offers a summary of the main tools that leaders can use to meet their challenge. Effective transformer leaders rely mainly on inspiration and information tools with occasional resort to power tools in a crisis. In this way, management and leadership can lead to the emergence from an organizational culture in which to share assumptions and goals. Inspirational tools. Inspirational tools, particularly storytelling, are useful in terms of inspiring people to think differently about the opportunities that lie ahead and embrace them for their own lives. Why storytelling? Silent leave listeners. Dazed pause remains unread. Reasons often inspire contrary reaction when it comes to inspiring people to embrace some strange new ideas. Storytelling isn't just better than the other tools, it's often the other things that works. At the same time, it's worth noting that most leadership stories don't work to inspire change. Their stories that most corporate crews tell are ineffective or even counterproductive. Through a lack of storytelling expertise, the main characteristics of leadership stories that do work are as follows. Number one, the story must be effectively true. There's a great danger of telling stories that omit crucial pieces of information, e.g. 1,200 happy passengers arrived in New York after the Titanic maiden voyage. When this is discovered, if they don't already know that the Titanic sank, pushback can be devastating. Number two, the story must be positive in tone. Negative stories are used for getting attention, but not for inspiring change. Number three, leadership stories need to be told in a minimalistic form, so as to spark a new story in the mind of the listener. If this persuader can manage to tell the right story in the right way, the story can resonate and start to become the audience story as they begin to realise that the idea in question can open new possibilities and opportunities for their own lives. If things go well, they will start to tell their colleagues and friends the story of an exciting new idea. With the luck, the change idea can start to spread in a viral fashion and be well on its way to becoming part of the culture of the organisation. Where the persuader authority over the audience, there's a risk that the persuader will be tempted to spur inspiration and start offering multiple tellings of the new idea and makes some point is made over and over again in different ways. The result is usually some compliance and underground resistance, yet another change initiative bites the dust. It doesn't have to be this way if the persuader makes better use of the available inspirational tools, the information of tools. Information tools also play a key role in 21st century management. The decentralized structure of 21st century management in the form of networks rather than vertical hierarchies, where multiple self-organized teams means that access to reliable information as to how the work is progressing is essential. Amazon has shown the way in this area by insisting that before any activity begins, there's agreed metrics that will prevail progress in real terms of cost and external customer outcomes, not just outputs or internal outcomes. When it comes to inspiring change, the timing of information is crucial. One misinterpretation that is common in the leadership industry is to imagine that giving people reason to change will by itself generate buy-in to change. Paradoxically, when people only have a contrary belief about something, giving them reasons to change is not only ineffective, it tends to be counterproductive. People even put more opposed to change as a result of the combination biases. Power tools. In many big operations, there is often a crucial use of power tools, partly as a result of prevailing transactional leadership, but also partly as a result of lack of skills in the use of inspiration and informational tools. Power tools can be effective in the short run in enforcing compliance change, but they lay the basics for future implementation problems. Yes, power tools are not inefficient. There are occasions when power tools are the only solution. For instance, former CEO Kurt Carlson explained how in 1988, when CRI International's transition to the 21st century management, the use of power tools was essential to his eventual success. As Carlson told me in 2015, in my first month, I got a phone call. I learned that the team had moved to the San Francisco from one part of the country to another without telling everybody. Well guys, that's time again. Thank you for watching. If you'd subscribe to the channel and like and share and comment on the video.